What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the 4 for 4 Philly Fan Podcast. Today, I woke up to some pretty good news that I was not actually expecting to see the Phillies make so soon. But Didi Gregorious will be back in a Phillies uniform for the next 2 years. I'm very happy to get that news. I mean, I love Didi. I thought that he was, really good for us last year. He played shortstop, obviously, and that's a position that we were desperately needing. And then when Trevor Simeon gets taken and the other guys that we were looking at, when they get taken, it was down to the Reds and us to sign Didi. And I'm glad that the Phillies opened up the checkbooks and wrote him his check. $28 million for the next 2 years. I think that is a pretty good deal. He wanted $15 million per, and we gave him 14. So he pretty much got what around what he wanted. And in 2 years, if you don't like, what you see, if you're not going to re-sign him, you always have that Xander Bogaerts option that he will be a free agent in 2 years from the Red Sox. So it'll always depend. Obviously, you still have Dave Dombrowski. You should still have Dave Dombrowski in the next 2 years. So I know he likes Bogaerts, but that's down the line from now. Hopefully, we have Bryson Stott down in the minors. I know he's a shortstop, but I'm liking the moves that this week has brought to us. I mean, this has been a pretty good week in Philly sports, if you ask me. You signed JT, you signed Didi. The Flyers win 2 games against the Devils. The Sixers beat the Lakers, and they demolished the Timberwolves last night. Thank you all so much for everybody that did come out to the stream last night and watch the game with me as I did a play-by-play of the game. Got a little hype, got used to it, towards the second quarter. But yeah, I definitely do appreciate you guys for joining in on the live stream last night. But, this was a great way to wake up this morning, is Didi Gregorious being back in a Phillies uniform. His stats last year, obviously we only had 60 games. This year we'll have a full 162, so I gotta love that. 2020 stats, though, were 215 at-bats, 61 hits, 10 home runs, 40 RBIs, 284 batting average, 339 on-base percentage, and 827 OPS. So, he's a good player to have. It's Didi Gregorious. He was a big part of the Yankees organization after Jeter left. But yeah, I really like the signing, and I like where the money is. This is a huge signing for the Phillies. You needed that shortstop. That is pretty much where you were, that's where you were stuck at for this offseason. Catcher and shortstop. And not only do you find those two positions, but you get the two guys that you just had last year back. You get Didi back, you get JT back, you make Philly fans happy, because obviously I think everybody pretty much wanted JT back and Didi Gregorious as well. I mean, I know I did. I love the JT signing. I love the Didi signing. I think that, when it came down to it, you needed to open up your checkbooks. You needed to sign these guys and not only make Philly fans happy, but make them happy as well. And that's exactly what they did this past week. I really don't see any complaints by Phillies fans saying that they wanted anybody else. I saw yesterday that Nolan Arenado was traded to the St. Louis Cardinals, so there was some speculation that maybe the Phillies were going to ask the Rockies if Trevor Story was up for a trade. He was not, and I think, maybe if they did do that and they said that he wasn't up for a trade, they probably just went right back to Didi and was like, okay, guy, I mean, here you go. Here's your money. I'm glad to see you next season. So I think that this is a good move for the Phils. I think this is definitely a move that helps us more than anything. I mean, let's be honest here. He's just been with the team. He's been with the city for the last year. They declined his option earlier in the offseason for $18.7 million. Now you get him $4 million cheaper this year. You like that. I like that as a Phillies fan. Dave Dombrowski has done a good job this past week. Cole Irvin this morning also traded to the Oakland Athletics for cash. And one of the shortstops that we took in the round 5 draft, something like that. He was just traded a couple minutes ago to the Cincinnati Reds, the team that was up for grabs with Didi Gregorious, but there was just no way that the Phillies were going to let the Reds take him from us. Pretty much, we set the bar at 28 million, and the Reds were not going to offer him any more than that, which I don't care about. I like Didi Gregorious. So, again, as I said, it's been a good week. Phillies, Eagles, Sixers, Flyers. You just have good things going on right now in the city of Philadelphia, and I'm loving every second of it. This move helps the Phillies a lot. JT being back, Didi being back, I love it. I love to see Dave Dombrowski listening to the fans. As soon as we signed JT, pretty much instantly I saw on Twitter, #sign Didi, and that's exactly what they did just a few days later. Beautiful way to wake up this morning for, a great player and a great teammate. So I've heard. Can't wait to actually watch him play in Citizens Bank Park this upcoming year. Hopefully, I would love to see him, hit some home runs to right field because he never goes oppo. But, he averaged a home run every 6 games. So I will definitely take that. He does struggle a little bit in the field. He had some errors last year, but, he's a pro's pro. He took over Derek Jeter's spot in the Yankees system. He was obviously he wasn't drafted by them. He played his first season with the Cincinnati Reds. So that was almost a reunion. Then he went to the Diamondbacks, and then he was a Yankee from 2015 to 2019. And now he's going to be a Philly from 2020 to 2022, 2023. So I'm happy with it, definitely. I love Didi Gregorious. Definitely going to need me to get a jersey. He played every single game last year. He started them all. He's a good player. Good player. He had 28 strikeouts last year. How many walks did he have? He had 15 walks, 40 RBIs, 10 home runs, as I said, 10 doubles, 105 singles, 2 triples. He's a good player. You love to have him, especially in your clubhouse. I'm loving this move. Let me know how you guys think of the Didi Gregorious and JT Realmuto signings this week. I made a JT video a couple days ago when the news broke. But I'm happy with this. I'm happy with Dave Dombrowski, John Middleton. I was hating on him a little bit earlier on because, he was the one that said we didn't have the money to sign these guys. But it looks like he kind of came to his senses a little bit and realized that, we do need Didi Gregorious and JT Realmuto, not only to make the fans happy, but to actually compete and try to win something. We haven't been to the playoffs in over a decade, it seems like. And I think it actually has been almost a decade now that we have not seen the playoffs. It's been like 9 years. So I definitely want to get back to that. Good Phillies baseball, winning baseball, but we will have to wait and see. I still think we are a bullpen pitcher or 2 or 3 away from being up there with the Mets and up there with the Nationals and the Braves and the NL East. We have a hard division. Of course we do. But I think your offense is set right now. You're going to have Bohm for a full 162 this year. Rhys Hoskins should be ready to go during, spring training. That's what I've been seeing. So I love baseball. I want the Phillies to be good. It's pretty much that downright and simple. But, with that being said, thank you all so much for tuning in to the 4for4 Philly Fan Podcast. Sixers game recap going up a little bit after this. Thank you all so much for tuning in. This is your host. Phillies signed Didi Gregorious to a 2-year, $28 million deal this morning. Great way to wake up. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And I am out. Peace. Go Phils, baby.